What if I told you that a billionaire, dripping in wealth and power, just bought a dusty, forgotten bookstore in a sleepy little town, and stumbled into a love story that could change everything? Picture this: a man who's got the world at his fingertips, but there's a secret locked away in those old bookshelves, and it's not just about rare first editions. In the next few minutes, I'm going to pull you into a tale of mystery, romance, and unexpected connections that'll keep you glued to your screen. You're here because you love a good story, right? One that makes you feel something deep in your chest, like you're part of it. Well, buckle up, because I'm about to take you on a journey that's going to answer the burning question in your mind. What happens when a billionaire meets the one woman who doesn't care about his money? Stick with me, and I promise you'll get that answer by the end of this video. Let's dive into this cozy, heart-pounding world together, and trust me, you won't want to look away. Imagine a quaint little town, the kind you'd find in a postcard, with cobblestone streets and mom-and-pop shops that haven't changed in decades. That's where our story begins, in a bookstore called The Last Chapter. It's the kind of place where the air smells like old paper and vanilla, where every creak of the floorboards feels like a whisper from the past. This isn't just any bookstore, it's a haven for dreamers, a place where people come to lose themselves in stories and maybe, just maybe, find a piece of themselves too. The woman who runs it, Lily Harper, is the heart and soul of this place. She's in her early 30s, with a smile that could light up the darkest room and a stubborn streak that's kept The Last Chapter alive despite the world moving on to e-readers and audiobooks. Lily's not just a bookseller, she's a storyteller, a keeper of secrets, and someone who believes in the magic of a good book. You know the type. Someone who makes you feel like you're home the moment you walk through the door. But here's the thing. Lily's world is about to collide with someone who couldn't be more different from her. Enter Ethan Caldwell, a billionaire tech mogul who's used to buying whatever he wants. Companies, cars, even people's loyalty. He's got the kind of charm that's dangerous because it's effortless, and a reputation for never sticking around long enough to care. So why, out of all the things he could buy, does he choose a crumbling bookstore in the middle of nowhere? That's the question that's going to keep you watching, because there's something Ethan's not telling anyone, and it's tied to the very heart of The Last Chapter. Now, let's get real for a second. You're probably thinking, okay, a billionaire and a bookstore? Sounds like every romance movie I've ever seen. But here's where I'm going to hook you deeper. This isn't just about sparks flying or cute meet cuties over a stack of dusty novels. There's a mystery here, something buried in the pages of that bookstore that's going to make you question everything. Ethan didn't just stumble upon The Last Chapter by accident. He's got a reason for being there, and it's not just about profit margins or flipping real estate. Maybe it's a secret from his past, or maybe it's something about Lily herself, something she doesn't even know. You're going to feel that itch, that need to know more, because I know you're like me. You love peeling back the layers of a good story, finding out what makes people tick, what makes them fall in love, or what makes them fight for something they believe in. And I'm going to let you in on a little promise. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why Ethan and Lily are drawn to each other, and what's at stake if they can't figure out the truth. So don't you dare click away, because I'm talking to you. Yes, you, the one who's already imagining yourself curled up in that bookstore, wondering what's hiding in those shelves. Let's paint the scene a bit more, because I want you to feel like you're standing right there with Lily when Ethan first walks in. It's a rainy afternoon, the kind where the world feels soft and quiet, and the bookstore is empty except for the sound of raindrops tapping against the windows. Lily's behind the counter, lost in a novel, her glasses slipping down her nose. She's not expecting anyone. Business has been slow, and the threat of closing the store forever is always lurking in the back of her mind. Then the bell above the door chimes, and in walks Ethan Caldwell. He's all sharp edges and expensive cologne, the kind of guy who looks like he belongs in a penthouse, not a place with peeling wallpaper and mismatched armchairs. But there's something about him. Maybe it's the way his eyes linger on the books, or the way he hesitates before speaking, that makes Lily pause. You can feel the tension in the air, like the moment before a storm breaks. She's wary, because she's heard the rumors. Some big-shot investor's been sniffing around, and The Last Chapter is on the chopping block. Ethan, on the other hand, is all charm, asking about rare books and local history. But there's a flicker in his expression that says he's not just here for a first-edition Hemingway. You're going to love this dynamic, because it's not just about opposites attracting. It's about two people who are both hiding something, and the closer they get, the more dangerous it becomes to keep those secrets. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why should I care about these two? Let me make it personal. Think about the last time you walked into a place that felt like it was yours. A coffee shop, a library, maybe even your favorite bookstore. You felt safe there, like the world couldn't touch you. That's what the last chapter is to Lily, and it's what's at stake in this story. For Ethan, it's different. He's got everything money can buy, but there's a hole in his life that no amount of cash can fill. Maybe you felt that too, that restless feeling, like you're searching for something you can't name. That's why you're going to root for these two, because their story is about finding meaning in a world that's always trying to sell you something else. And here's the master move to keep you watching. I'm not going to tell you what Ethan's secret is just yet, but I will give you a hint. It's tied to a single book in the last chapter, one that's been sitting on the shelf for decades, unnoticed until now. What's in that book? Why does it matter? And why is Lily the only one who can unlock its meaning? You're going to have to keep watching to find out, because I'm not letting you off the hook that easily. Let's talk about the vibe of this story, because I want you to feel it in your bones. The tone is warm but electric, like a cozy blanket with a spark running through it. There's romance, sure, but it's not all swoony glances and candlelit dinners. It's messy, real, and full of those little moments that make your heart ache. Like when someone brushes your hand by accident and you both pretend it didn't happen. The atmosphere of the last chapter is its own character. The soft glow of lamps, the stacks of books that seem to lean in like they're listening, the way the light filters through the windows and makes everything feel like a dream. But there's an undercurrent of tension too, because Ethan's arrival isn't just a threat to the bookstore, it's a threat to the life Lily's built. And for Ethan, being around Lily is starting to unravel the walls he spent years putting up. You're going to feel invested because this isn't just about a billionaire and a bookseller. It's about what happens when two people challenge each other to be more than they thought they could be. It's about second chances, hidden truths, and the kind of love that sneaks up on you when you least expect it. I want to take a moment to connect with you directly, because this story isn't just about Lily and Ethan. It's about why you're here, watching this video. You're someone who loves a good twist, aren't you? You're the kind of person who stays up late binge-watching a series because you need to know what happens next. I get it, because I'm the same way. That's why I'm crafting this introduction to hit all the right notes. Intrigue, heart, and just enough mystery to make you lean forward in your seat. You're not just a viewer to me. You're part of this story. Every time you hit that like button, leave a comment, or share this video, you're telling me you're in, that you want to see where this goes. So do me a favor. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think Ethan's secret might be. Is it a lost love? A family scandal? Or something even bigger? I'm reading every single one, and I might just drop a hint in the next video for those of you who guess close. But you've got to stick around to the end of this one, because I'm about to leave you on a cliffhanger that'll make you hit that subscribe button faster than you can say, billionaire romance. Let's circle back to our characters, because I want you to feel like you know them before we dive deeper. Lily's the kind of woman you'd want as your best friend. She's fierce, funny, and a little bit broken, but she hides it behind her love for books and her determination to keep the last chapter alive. She's not impressed by Ethan's wealth, and that's what throws him off. For the first time in years, he's got to work for someone's trust, and it's not going as smoothly as he planned. Ethan, on the other hand, is used to being in control. He's built an empire by knowing exactly what people want and how to get it, but Lily's not playing by his rules. There's a vulnerability to him, though, that you'll start to see as the story unfolds, a crack in his polished exterior that makes you wonder what he's running from. The chemistry between them is undeniable, but it's not love at first sight. It's more like a slow burn, the kind that starts with a spark and builds into something you can't look away from. And the themes we're playing with here, trust, redemption, the power of stories, are going to hit home because they're universal. You've felt the need to protect something you love, haven't you? You've wondered what it takes to let someone in. That's what makes this story so gripping, and it's why you're going to keep watching. Now, here's where I'm going to tighten the screws and make sure you can't click away. Ethan's been coming to the last chapter every day, pretending he's just there to browse, but Lily's starting to notice things. The way he lingers near a certain shelf. The way he asks questions that feel too specific, like he's searching for something. One evening after closing time, she catches him slipping a small, leather-bound book into his jacket. A book she's never seen before, even though she knows every inch of her store. When she confronts him, he brushes it off with that infuriating charm. But there's a look in his eyes that says he's been caught. What's in that book? Why is it so important? And why does Lily feel like her whole world is about to turn upside down because of it? You're going to have to keep watching to find out, because I'm not giving you the answer just yet. Hit that play button, stay with me, and let's unravel this mystery together. Right where we left off, with that leather-bound book tucked inside Ethan Caldwell's jacket and Lily Harper's heart pounding with suspicion, the air in the last chapter feels heavier, like the moment before a secret spills out and changes everything. You're probably sitting there, wondering what's so special about that book and why Ethan, a billionaire who could buy 1,000 bookstores, is acting like a thief in the night. Let me pull you deeper into this world, because the story's about to get richer, with layers of mystery and connections that'll make you lean closer to your screen. The last chapter isn't just a bookstore, it's a place where past and present collide, and the people drawn to it, like Lily and Ethan, are carrying burdens they haven't shared yet. As we peel back the layers of their lives, I'm going to introduce you to new faces, new questions, and a town that's got its own secrets to keep. Stick with me because the tension's only going to build, and I'm talking directly to you. Yes, you, the one who loves a good twist in a story that feels like it's unfolding just for you. Don't even think about clicking away, because every paragraph is going to hook you tighter, and by the end, you'll be dying to know what happens next in this billionaire romance that's anything but ordinary. Let's start with Lily, because she's the heartbeat of this story, and understanding her is key to feeling the weight of what's at stake. Lily Harper grew up in this little town of Willow Creek, where everyone knows your name and your business, and the last chapter was her refuge long before she took it over. Her grandmother, Eleanor, ran the store for decades, filling it with stories and secrets that Lily's only beginning to uncover. When Eleanor passed away 5 years ago, she left the bookstore to Lily, along with a cryptic note that said, "Keep the stories alive, and they'll keep you." At the time, Lily thought it was just her grandmother's poetic way of encouraging her, but now, with Ethan's strange behavior and that mysterious book, she's starting to wonder if there's more to it. Lily's not just fighting to save the bookstore from financial ruin. She's fighting to preserve a legacy she doesn't fully understand. There's a subplot here that's going to tug at your heart. Lily's been estranged from her mother, Claire, who left Willow Creek when Lily was a teenager, chasing dreams of a bigger life. Claire's sudden reappearance in town, just as Ethan starts poking around, feels like no coincidence. You can feel the tension, can't you? The way Lily's torn between her loyalty to the past and the pull of new possibilities. It's the kind of family drama that hits home, because we've all had moments where we've had to choose between holding on and letting go. Now let's shift to Ethan, because there's so much more to this man than his tailored suits and billion-dollar empire. Ethan Caldwell didn't grow up with a silver spoon. His wealth is new, built on a tech company that revolutionized how people connect online. But success came at a cost. You're going to love this layer of his character. Ethan's got a past he's buried deep, one that's tied to Willow Creek in ways he's not ready to admit. Years ago, before he was a household name, he spent a summer in this town, working odd jobs and dreaming of something bigger. There was a girl back then, someone who believed in him when he had nothing, but that's a story he's locked away, even from himself. The last chapter was a place he visited during that summer, and something about it, maybe a memory, maybe a promise, has pulled him back. That leather-bound book he slipped into his jacket? It's not just a random find. It's got handwriting in the margins, notes that feel personal, like they're speaking directly to him. You're probably wondering what those notes say. And I'm going to keep you guessing, because that's the kind of mystery that makes you stick around. Ethan's not just here to buy a bookstore. He's chasing something he lost, and Lily's presence is complicating everything. The way she challenges him, the way she sees through his charm. It's stirring up feelings he thought he'd left behind. Let's widen the lens and bring in the town of Willow Creek, because this place is a character in its own right, with its own secrets and subplots that are going to keep you hooked. Willow Creek is the kind of small town where gossip spreads faster than wildfire, and Ethan's arrival has set tongues wagging. There's Maggie, the owner of the coffee shop next door, who's been Lily's best friend since high school. Maggie's got a sharp wit and a knack for noticing things others miss, and she's the first to point out that Ethan's visits to the last chapter aren't just about books. She's got her own subplot brewing. She's been saving up to buy the coffee shop from its aging owner, but a mysterious investor, sound familiar? Is circling, threatening her dreams. Then there's Tom, the town's librarian and unofficial historian, who's been digging into the history of the last chapter for years. He's got a theory that the bookstore was once a meeting place for a secret society in the early 1900s, and he's convinced there's something hidden in its walls. Maybe a lost manuscript, maybe something more valuable. Tom's perspective adds another layer of intrigue, because he's been watching Ethan too, and he's starting to think the billionaire knows more about the bookstore's past than he's letting on. You can feel the web tightening, can't you? Every person in this town is connected to the last chapter, and Ethan's presence is like a stone dropped in a still pond, sending ripples that touch everyone. Let's deepen the mystery, because I know you're here for those trending YouTube keywords like hidden secrets and romantic suspense. That leather-bound book Ethan took isn't just any book. It's unmarked, with no title on the spine, and the notes in the margins are written in two different hands, like a conversation between two people who never met. One set of notes is old, faded, maybe decades old, and the other is fresher, as if someone's been adding to it recently. Lily's never seen this book before, which is strange, because she's catalogued every inch of the last chapter. When she starts asking questions, she finds a locked drawer in the back room of the bookstore, one she's never noticed despite years of working there. Inside, there's a key, small and ornate, with no clue as to what it opens. This discovery pulls Lily into a new layer of the plot. Is the bookstore hiding something her grandmother never told her about? And why does Ethan seem to know more than he should? You're probably itching to know what's going on, and I'm going to keep you on the edge of your seat by adding another twist. Claire, Lily's mother, has been seen talking to Ethan outside the bookstore, their conversation hushed and urgent. What's their connection? Is Claire working with Ethan, or does she have her own reasons for being back in Willow Creek? This family drama is going to hit you right in the feels, because it's about trust, betrayal, and the secrets we keep from the people we love. The tension between Lily and Ethan is building, and it's not just about the book or the bookstore. It's personal now. Every time Ethan comes into the last chapter, their conversations are a dance of wit and wariness, like two people circling each other in a ring. Lily's starting to notice the way his eyes soften when he talks about books, the way he lingers over stories about second chances. But she's not ready to trust him, not when her livelihood is on the line and her mother's sudden return is stirring up old wounds. Ethan, for his part, is struggling to keep his guard up. Lily's not like anyone he's ever met. She's real, grounded, and completely unimpressed by his wealth. There's a moment where their hands brush while reaching for the same book, and the air crackles with something neither of them wants to name. You're going to love this slow-burn romance, because it's not just about attraction. It's about two people who are afraid to let go of their defenses but can't help being drawn together. And here's where I'm going to tighten the screws. Lily decides to follow Ethan one evening, determined to figure out what he's hiding. She sees him slip into an old abandoned house on the edge of town, a place the locals whisper about, saying it's been empty for years. What's he doing there? And why does Lily feel like she's being watched as she stands in the shadows, her heart racing? I want to pause and connect with you directly, because you're not just watching this story, you're living it with me. You're the kind of person who loves diving into a mystery, aren't you? You're imagining yourself in Lily's shoes, wondering what you'd do if you found a strange book or a hidden key in a place you thought you knew. That's why I'm keeping the suspense alive, dropping just enough clues to make you hungry for more. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think the key unlocks. Is it a safe, a door, or something even stranger? I'm reading every single one, and I might just give a shout out to the best guesses in the next video. But you've got to keep watching, because the story's about to take a turn that'll leave you gasping. The last chapter is more than a bookstore. It's a puzzle, and every piece Lily and Ethan uncover brings them closer to a truth that could change their lives forever. Stick with me, because the cliffhanger's coming, and it's going to make you hit that subscribe button and beg for the next part. As the days pass, the town of Willow Creek starts to feel different, like it's holding its breath. Maggie's been noticing strange cars parked near the last chapter, driven by men in suits who don't look like they belong in a small town. Tom's digging deeper into the bookstore's history, uncovering references to a lost collection of letters that were rumored to be hidden in the last chapter during the Great Depression. Letters that could be worth a fortune, or could reveal a scandal that someone's desperate to keep buried. Claire's presence is stirring up old gossip, with locals whispering about why she left Willow Creek all those years ago and what she's really after now. And Lily? She's starting to feel like the bookstore itself is trying to tell her something. Late at night when she's alone, she hears noises. Soft thumps like books falling, or the faint sound of footsteps upstairs, where no one should be. She's not one to believe in ghosts, but there's a weight to the last chapter now, like it's watching her, waiting for her to figure out what's been hidden all this time. Ethan's visits are becoming more frequent, and his questions are getting sharper, like he's testing her, trying to see how much she knows. The chemistry between them is undeniable, but it's laced with suspicion, and every conversation feels like a chess move. Here's where I'm going to leave you hanging, because I know you're hooked and you're not going anywhere. One night, Lily decides to open that locked drawer again, hoping to find more clues about the key. Instead, she finds a photograph, old and yellowed, tucked inside a hidden compartment. It's a picture of her grandmother Eleanor, standing in front of the last chapter, but she's not alone. There's a young man with her, his arm around her shoulders, and the resemblance to Ethan is uncanny. Who is he? How is he connected to Ethan? And why was this photo hidden away? Before Lily can process it, the bell above the door chimes, and Ethan walks in, his face pale, like he knows exactly what she's found. What does he say? What does Lily do? You're going to have to keep watching to find out, because this billionaire romance is just getting started, and the secrets of the last chapter are about to blow everything wide open. Right there in the dim glow of the last chapter, with that old photograph trembling in Lily Harper's hands and Ethan Caldwell standing in the doorway, the air feels like it's crackling with secrets ready to burst. You're probably on the edge of your seat, wondering who that man in the photo is and why Ethan's face looks like he's seen a ghost. I'm talking to you, the one who's been with me through this billionaire romance, hooked on the mystery of a dusty bookstore and a love story that's anything but simple. The stakes are about to get higher, and I'm throwing in a twist that'll make your jaw drop, because this tale of hidden secrets and romantic suspense is racing toward a climax you won't see coming. Lily and Ethan are standing on the edge of something big, and the town of Willow Creek is buzzing with whispers that tie everyone to the last chapter. Stick with me, because I'm weaving in every subplot, escalating the tension, and keeping you glued to your screen. Don't even think about clicking away. You're part of this story now, and I'm promising you answers that'll make your heart race. Let's dive back into this cozy, electrifying world and see what happens when the past comes knocking. Lily's staring at Ethan, the photograph of her grandmother Eleanor and the mysterious man burning in her grip, and the silence between them feels like it could shatter glass. She's not sure what to say, but her instincts are screaming that Ethan knows more than he's let on. The man in the photo with his sharp jawline and piercing eyes looks so much like Ethan it's uncanny, but the picture's too old for it to be him. Decades old, maybe from the 1950s. Ethan's expression is unreadable, but there's a flicker of something. Guilt, maybe, or fear, that makes Lily's stomach twist. She's been wary of him since he first walked into her bookstore, all charm and expensive cologne, but this is different. This feels personal, like the last chapter is a thread connecting their lives in ways neither of them fully understands. Before she can demand answers, Ethan steps forward, his voice low and careful, saying he needs to tell her something, but not here, not now. He glances at the windows, like he's worried someone's watching, and that's when Lily notices the shadow of a figure outside, fleeting but unmistakable. You're feeling that chill, aren't you? The kind that comes with a good mystery, where every clue pulls you deeper into the unknown. Ethan's about to say more when the phone in Lily's pocket buzzes. Her mother, Claire, calling for the third time that day. The timing's too perfect, and it's raising questions about Claire's role in all this. Is she tied to Ethan's secret? And who was that figure outside? The main conflict's heating up, and it's about to explode with a twist that'll change everything. Let's pull back and weave in the subplots, because Willow Creek's buzzing with its own drama, and it's all connected to the last chapter. Maggie, Lily's best friend and the coffee shop owner next door, has been digging into the mysterious investor threatening to buy her shop. She's found a name, Sterling Enterprises, a shadowy company with ties to Ethan's tech empire. Maggie's not one to back down, and she's been tailing one of those suited men who've been lurking around town, snapping photos of the last chapter and the coffee shop. Her subplot's escalating, because she's just overheard a conversation that suggests Sterling's not just after real estate. They're looking for something specific, something hidden in the bookstore. Meanwhile, Tom, the town librarian, has been poring over old records and found a bombshell. The last chapter was once owned by a man named James Caldwell, who vanished under mysterious circumstances in the 1960s. James was rumored to have hidden a fortune in the bookstore, not in cash, but in rare documents that could ruin powerful families. You're probably thinking, Caldwell? Like Ethan Caldwell. Exactly. Tom's theory is that Ethan's connected to James, maybe even his grandson, and his return to Willow Creek is about reclaiming whatever James left behind. These subplots are tightening the web, making you wonder who's pulling the strings and why the last chapter is at the center of it all. The town's alive with suspicion, and every whisper adds to the suspense, keeping you hooked on this trending YouTube story. Now, here's the twist that's going to flip everything you thought you knew. Ethan finally opens up, just a crack, and tells Lily that the man in the photograph is his grandfather, James Caldwell. But here's the kicker. James didn't just vanish. He was forced out of Willow Creek after a scandal involving Eleanor, Lily's grandmother. Ethan's been searching for the truth about what happened, because his family's wealth, the foundation of his empire, might be built on a lie. The leather-bound book he took? It's a journal, written by James, and it's filled with cryptic entries about a promise he made to Eleanor, one that could destroy everything Ethan's built if it's exposed. But that's not the real shock. As Ethan's talking, Lily realizes the key she found in the locked drawer, the small ornate one, fits a locket she's had since childhood, one Eleanor gave her before she died. Inside the locket is a tiny folded note, and when Lily unfolds it, her breath catches. It's a map, hand-drawn, of the last chapter, with a mark in the attic, labeled The Truth. You're reeling, right? Because this isn't just about a billionaire and a bookseller anymore. It's about a decades-old secret that's been hiding in plain sight, and Lily's the key to unlocking it. But before they can race to the attic, the lights in the bookstore flicker, and a loud crash echoes from upstairs, like something heavy's fallen. Someone's in the last chapter, and they're not supposed to be there. The stakes are sky-high now, and the subplots are colliding in ways that make your heart pound. Claire's been leaving voicemails, her voice shaky, saying she needs to talk to Lily about Eleanor and what really happened. Lily's torn. Her mother's betrayed her before, and trusting her feels like a risk, especially with Ethan's revelations swirling in her mind. Maggie's photos of the suited men have caught the attention of a local reporter, who's sniffing around for a big story about corporate greed and small-town secrets. And Tom's research has led him to a chilling discovery. The secret society that used the last chapter as a meeting place in the early 1900s wasn't just a book club. They were guarding something, maybe those rare documents, and their influence might still linger in Willow Creek's power structure. The romantic suspense is thicker than ever, because Lily and Ethan's growing connection is tangled up in this web of deceit. Every time they get close, like when Ethan grabs her hand to steady her after the crash upstairs, there's a spark that's undeniable, but it's shadowed by doubt. Can Lily trust him, knowing his family's tied to her grandmother's pain? And what about Ethan, who's starting to see Lily as more than a means to an end, but can't shake the feeling that his search for the truth might hurt her? I want to connect with you right now, because you're not just watching this, you're living it with me. You're the kind of person who loves a plot twist that makes you gasp, who stays up late piecing together clues like a detective. I see you, imagining yourself in that attic, wondering what the truth could be. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think's up there. A hidden fortune, a love letter, or something darker? I'm reading every one, and I might drop a hint in the next video for those of you who get close. But you've got to stick with me, because this story's building to a climax that'll leave you speechless. The last chapter's secrets are unraveling, and every step Lily and Ethan take brings them closer to danger, and to each other. The chemistry's electric, the mystery's deepening, and the town's watching, waiting for the truth to come out. You're invested, aren't you? Because this isn't just a story, it's a journey, and you're right there with me, feeling every twist and turn. Let's keep the tension climbing, because the crash upstairs isn't the only thing shaking things up. Lily and Ethan exchange a glance, wordlessly agreeing to investigate, but as they head toward the attic, Lily notices something chilling. The leather-bound journal, which Ethan had set on the counter, is gone. Someone took it in the chaos, and the realization hits them both. This isn't just about curiosity anymore. Someone else is after the same truth, and they're willing to break into the last chapter to get it. The attic stairs creak under their weight, and the air grows colder as they climb, the map from the locket clutched in Lily's hand. The mark on the map points to a corner of the attic, but when they reach it, they find nothing but a dusty trunk, locked tight. The key from the locket doesn't fit, and frustration bubbles up, until Ethan notices scratches on the floor, like the trunk's been moved recently. They push it aside, and beneath it is a loose floorboard, hiding a small metal box. Lily's heart's pounding, and you can feel it too, can't you? The anticipation of what's inside, the fear that they're not alone. But before they can open the box, footsteps echo below, deliberate and slow, like someone searching the bookstore. Ethan whispers for Lily to stay quiet, but her eyes are wide, locked on the box, because whatever's inside could answer everything, or destroy it all. Here's where I'm going to leave you hanging, because I know you're hooked and you're begging for more. The footsteps stop, and a voice calls out. A woman's voice, familiar but sharp with urgency. It's Claire, Lily's mother, standing at the bottom of the attic stairs, saying, "Lily, you need to stop this now." What does she know? Why is she here, and what's she so afraid of? And that metal box, still unopened, sits between Lily and Ethan like a ticking bomb. You're going to have to keep watching to find out what's inside and who's been pulling the strings in Willow Creek, because this billionaire romance is spiraling into a mystery that'll keep you up at night. Hit that subscribe button, drop your guesses in the comments, and let's unravel this together. Here we are, right at the heart of the last chapter, with Lily Harper and Ethan Caldwell frozen in the attic, that mysterious metal box between them and Claire's voice echoing from the stairs below, urging Lily to stop. You're probably gripping your phone or leaning into your screen, feeling the weight of every secret we've unraveled together in this billionaire romance packed with hidden truths and romantic suspense. I'm talking directly to you, the one who's been with me through every twist, every clue, and every heartbeat of this story. We've built this world together, and now it's time to bring it home with a climax that'll make your heart race, a resolution that ties up every thread, and a final twist that'll leave you stunned. The last chapter's secrets are about to spill out, and the lives of Lily, Ethan, and the entire town of Willow Creek are on the line. Don't even think about looking away, because this is the moment you've been waiting for. The answers to every question, wrapped in a story that's going to stick with you long after the video ends. Let's climb those final steps, open that box, and see what truths have been hiding in the shadows of this cozy, electrifying bookstore. Lily's breath catches as she locks eyes with Ethan, the attic's dim light casting shadows that make the moment feel like a scene from a dream. Claire's voice, sharp with desperation, cuts through the silence again, but Lily's done running from her mother's cryptic warnings. She spent too long protecting the last chapter, fighting for her grandmother Eleanor's legacy, and now with Ethan by her side, she's ready to face whatever's in that metal box. Ethan nods, his jaw tight, and together they pry open the loose floorboard, lifting the box into the flickering glow of the attic's single bulb. It's heavier than it looks, etched with faint initials, J.C. and E.H., James Caldwell and Eleanor Harper. The realization hits Lily like a wave. This is the heart of the mystery, the connection between her grandmother and Ethan's grandfather that's been buried for decades. Downstairs, Claire's footsteps grow closer, and Lily knows they're out of time. With trembling hands, she pulls the ornate key from her locket, the one she found in the locked drawer, and to her surprise, it fits perfectly. The lock clicks, and inside the box is a bundle of letters, yellowed with age, tied with a faded ribbon, and a small, sealed envelope addressed to the keeper of the last chapter. You're feeling that rush, aren't you? The kind that comes when a mystery's about to crack wide open, revealing secrets that could change everything. But before Lily can open the envelope, Claire bursts into the attic, her face pale, and says, "You can't read those. They'll destroy us all." The tension's unbearable, and the climax is here, ready to unravel the truth. Let's dive into the letters, because they're the key to resolving the main conflict and tying up the web of subplots that's kept you hooked. Lily, ignoring Claire's pleas, unties the ribbon and starts reading, her voice steady despite the storm brewing around her. The letters are between James Caldwell and Eleanor, written in the 1950s, and they tell a story of forbidden love and betrayal. James, a young man from a wealthy family, fell in love with Eleanor, the bookseller's daughter, but their romance was torn apart by his family's ambition. They forced James to leave Willow Creek, threatening to ruin Eleanor's family if he stayed. But James and Eleanor made a pact. They hid a collection of rare documents in the last chapter, proof of a land deal that cheated the town's founders, including Eleanor's ancestors, out of their rightful inheritance. These documents, if revealed, could upend Willow Creek's power structure, exposing families who've built their wealth on lies. The leather-bound journal Ethan took was James's record of their plan, and the notes in the margins were Eleanor's, added years later as she guarded the secret alone. You're seeing it now, right? The reason Ethan came back, the reason Sterling Enterprises is circling, the reason Claire's so afraid. The last chapter isn't just a bookstore, it's a vault, and Lily's the keeper of a truth that could rewrite history. The climax hits its peak as Claire finally breaks, her voice cracking as she confesses her part in the story. She was a teenager when Eleanor told her about the documents, warning her to protect the last chapter at all costs. But Claire, desperate to escape Willow Creek's small-town life, stole some of the documents and sold them to a shady dealer, hoping to fund her dreams. The deal went sour, and the documents vanished, but Claire's betrayal fractured her relationship with Eleanor and left the bookstore vulnerable. She's back now because Sterling Enterprises, backed by descendants of the families named in the documents, is hunting for the rest, and they've been using Ethan as a pawn, feeding him half-truths about his grandfather's legacy. Ethan's stunned, realizing his quest for the truth was manipulated, but he's not the villain here. He's as much a victim of the past as Lily. The romantic suspense that's been simmering between them explodes in this moment, as Ethan grabs Lily's hand, promising to stand by her no matter what. They decide to open the sealed envelope, and inside is Eleanor's final letter, written on her deathbed. It names Lily as the rightful heir to the land stolen from her ancestors and urges her to use the documents to set things right. You're feeling the weight of this, aren't you? The power of a legacy, the courage it takes to face the past. But the danger's not over. Those footsteps downstairs weren't just Claire's. Sterling's men are in the bookstore, and they're not leaving without the documents. The resolution comes fast, but it's earned, tying up every subplot with a clarity that feels like coming home. Lily and Ethan, fueled by their shared resolve, barricade the attic door as they hear the men searching below. Maggie, ever the loyal friend, bursts into the bookstore with Tom and the local reporter, who's been trailing the story. Maggie's photos and Tom's research have given the reporter enough to blow the lid off Sterling Enterprises, and the men flee when they hear sirens, thanks to Maggie's quick call to the sheriff. The documents are safe, and Lily decides to make them public, working with Tom to donate them to the town's historical society. The revelation shakes Willow Creek, forcing powerful families to face their ancestors' greed, and Lily's named as the rightful owner of a vast tract of land, enough to secure the last chapter's future forever. Maggie's coffee shop is saved, too, as the town rallies to support her, and Claire, humbled by her daughter's strength, begins to rebuild their relationship, starting with an honest apology. The romantic arc finds its footing as Ethan, free from Sterling's influence, stays in Willow Creek, helping Lily restore the bookstore. Their love isn't perfect, it's messy, built on trust earned through fire, but it's real, the kind that makes you believe in second chances. You're smiling now, aren't you? Because this is the kind of ending that feels like a warm hug, but there's one more twist to make it unforgettable. Here's the final twist that'll leave you in awe, because I know you love a surprise that hits just right. As Lily and Ethan sort through the attic, cataloging the documents, they find one last letter, tucked inside the metal box's lining. It's from James to Eleanor, written years after he left Willow Creek, and it reveals he never stopped loving her. But the real shock? James didn't just hide documents. He left a trust fund for Eleanor's descendants, meant to protect the last chapter if the truth ever came out. The fund's been accruing interest for decades, and it's worth millions, accessible only to the keeper of the last chapter. Lily, now a multimillionaire, is speechless, and Ethan laughs, saying she's the only billionaire he knows who'd rather spend her fortune on books than private jets. This twist isn't just about money. It's about the power of love and loyalty, a reminder that the past can surprise us with gifts we never expected. You're reeling, right? Because this is the kind of ending that sticks, blending heart-pounding drama with a touch of magic. I want to connect with you one last time, because you've been my partner in this journey. You're the kind of person who loves a story that makes you feel alive, who's been rooting for Lily and Ethan through every twist and turn. The last chapter taught us something, didn't it? That love, trust, and truth are worth fighting for, even when the odds are stacked against you. Drop a comment below and tell me what you loved most. The romance, the mystery, or that final twist? I'm reading every one, and I want to hear your thoughts on this trending YouTube saga. The takeaway here is simple but powerful. Sometimes, the stories we hold closest are the ones that change us forever. So hit that subscribe button, share this video, and let's keep chasing stories that make our hearts race. The last chapter's doors are open, and thanks to you, its legacy lives on.